16, 17, and 18 about putting a sewage system in. I object to that, and are you going to discuss this later about what the thing are? Can I
Yes.
comment later too, or?
Mr.
I'd
Smith?
rather hear him now, and I think Mr. Frizzy is here.
Yes.
We'll hear him when we come up to the agenda item.
Okay.
All right, in reference to this sewage system, you're saying you want to put in for a single residence treatment plant. That is, I understand that is not a single residence. Isn't that a group home that you have up there?
No, sir.
There's more than one person lives in that house up there, isn't it?
It's a handicapped person and one or two caretakers.
There's other people, so it's not
No,
a
sir.
single family, it's not single family, and this thing is wrong to say that this is a single family, that's wrong. And also, I believe it said in, I think that you're gonna discharge this onto my property. That effluent or something coming out of the system's coming on my property. I do not want it on my property. I don't want you to devalue my property, and I don't want, we have a stream that goes down into, on the farm, it feeds water to the cattle, and if it gets polluted, what do I do? And if it kills the cattle or whatever, then what do I do? And also, you're talking, it looks like to me, and I haven't seen any type of drawing, you're talking about tying this into a storm sewer across the township road. Isn't that right? And there's a cross right there, and you're talking about tying this into that, and then dump it on my property. This township has already started different, things already, that you put in holding tanks that you don't allow this stuff to take place. Why are you gonna dump this on somebody else's property now? And it said also something about that this thing would be tested once a year. And it says once a year. What is it tested for? And it said there was tests in that run on it. Can I get a copy of the tests that were done, the soil tests and so forth that was done on the property? I want a copy of them. Because I want to see what was said. In fact, I believe this property has about, I don't know, is it 3 or 4 acres of property? If this is the case, you're gonna put this system in, put a pump on there, and pump it up on the own property there, and keep it there. Why dump it on me? And devalue my property, and also, if you tie that in under the township storm drain, then how come you eliminate the other ones already? And I would like to have a copy of anything that pertains to any type of test or anything that was done, whatever. I haven't gotten anything yet at this time, so I object to this thing being done at all and dump it on my property. My life's my property. This doesn't have to be dumped there. Dump it up on the other property where it's coming from. Keep it up there. Pump it up on the hill. There's a pretty property up behind the hill there on there. Pump it up there, let it drain down through that property. Don't drain it on me. I would hope the board would consider rejecting this thing, because it's not right to dump it on somebody else's dump it on somebody else. If they do, then take and dump it on everybody else's property. Even anybody on this board will dump it on your property too. If that's fine, then that's what you should do with everybody then. Have them dump sewage on your property, not on mine. I don't agree with that. And I would like to have copies, like I say, of all the correspondence in relation to this. Should I get a copy of them? Any correspondence that was done on this?
There's not been any correspondence yet. This is just starting. But
Well,
you would
have
be entitled to documents once they become official public documents.
Well, you already got a letter from my attorney objecting to this. And then And it says here that you were gonna pass these ordinance, these
Well, they're-
resolutions.
They're agenda items for consideration.
Oh, all right,
We'll deal with that when we get to those agenda items.
all right, but I'm
Your
just saying, but
comments,
you
you know.
say you are gonna pass, it says here you're gonna vote on it, and you say you're not gonna vote on it.
This board is gonna decide whether to approve it or not approve it.
Yeah, but how could you
And a lot of
approve
it's gonna depend on what, there's an agreement that Mr. Breezy must sign before he can even go forward with a small flow treatment facility. And I know he has objected to the agreement that we have prepared, so we've got a couple hurdles to overcome. So I can't tell you that this is a foregone conclusion that it's gonna happen until we hear from Mr. Breezy.
Well, I object to being dumped on my property.
We don't know anything about that because we don't do the design. We haven't seen a design. The township doesn't build this system. The township isn't responsible for this system. This is all run by the DEP. They have to approve the design. They have to inspect it. So this is not the township doing this. This is the township possibly permitting it to be done as an alternative system. See, the DEP, because of the significant problems people have had passing perk tests on their property, have said, okay, there's a lot of areas where a conventional septic tank, a sand mound won't work. So they have approved alternative systems. This small flow treatment system is something that the DEP has approved and recommends for this property to solve his sewage problem.
May I comment? Or-
Not yet.
It's-
We need to move on. We
Yes,
noted your
yes.
comment.
All right.
Thank you very much. And next comment?
Linda Evans.